Good. Okay. So I just want to start out by saying, I mean, the movie was great. I saw it last night. Probably the most real and best love story I've seen since Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
great,
like just,
great.
I mean, how things really are. And I was hearing that most of it was improv.
Yeah. I mean, we had a 50-page outline, which had all the scenes in like a more conventional script, so it has all the stage directions, but there's no dialogue. So the process is about finding the dialogue. So yeah, I mean the whole thing was improvised.
Well, that makes sense why it felt so real then, because I mean, definitely drawing not just like set out like you're just in the character and saying how you feel the character.
Yeah,
right?
and it just means that if something isn't working, you can just change it really quickly because it's not as though you're trying to stick to anything. So it's always about finding the more truthful, more interesting moment.
And so I had a question. So you never get real like a hard timeline for the movie. Like you can kind of tell where, I mean, you say the months and everything, and then you go from the flip phones to the iPhones. But how long is it supposed to take place over?
Well, originally in the first outline there were actually going to be title cards for each year for the 7 years, but then I think Drake felt like it wasn't necessary. But you go with them from 19 to 2026.
Oh wow! Yeah, I could definitely tell it was a long time span, but I mean there are clues in there for sure.
Yeah. You should just feel that that there's a big shift for both of them.
And speaking of time, that shot where you are in the airport and it's sped up and you're just standing there. A, was that you? Was that actually you?
That was actually me.
And B, how long was that shot in reality?
I stood there for, I think, an hour.
Oh, really?
Yes, I had to, because then it was sped up afterwards. And so literally, I was standing in the middle of Heathrow Airport, completely stationary, and I'd just get the odd look from someone, but nobody came up to see if I was okay. You know, they just sort of were carrying on with their
So
day.
it wasn't like roped off or anything. That was like actual foot traffic.
Yeah, it was the real deal.
Wow, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. So what was it like working with Anton?
Terrible. No.
And please tell me you gave him a little guff about that like conquistador beard he had for a little while.
Yeah, exactly. We had a lot of we laughed about that a lot actually, because that was actually stuck on.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you could tell, but it kept falling off in the scenes, and you'd be like, "Oh, this damn beard." No, it was actually, so many actors say this, but it was actually an incredible experience because of both Drake and Anton, and I'm very close to them, and we had a good time, but also we all went into it wanting to produce something that we'd never produced before and try something new, and hopefully we did that.
Oh, definitely. And so, another two-part question. I'm a big whiskey drinker, so I'm curious if the whiskey you were drinking in the movie was it actually whiskey, or was it like colored water? I've heard they do that a lot.
It was colored water.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that screws my second question then.
But it would be much more glamorous if we could say it was real whiskey.
Well, I was going to ask you if you had any recommendations, but I guess that kind of goes against that.
But I do. I mean, we talk about it in the film, and we say Lefroy. So we did a little bit of off-screen whiskey tasting.
Oh, nice.
And I think Lefroy comes out on top.
Lefroy?
Lefroy, yeah.
Okay.
It's a Scottish whiskey.
Yeah. Okay.
Really,
I'll have to hit up the liquor store and see.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have it.
Go
Probably won't.
Find it. Yeah.
And finally, I am a huge nerd. So I went through your IMDb profile and I saw that you did a Doctor Who episode.
I did indeed.
What exactly did you do, and what was that experience like?
The episode was called The Unicorn and the Wasp, and I was the unicorn, and I was a jewelry thief who pretends to be a very society lady, but underneath all that she's actually a cockney from London and is pinching rich people's jewelry.
Nice. Did you get to check out the TARDIS set and everything?
I didn't actually.
Oh.
It was I mean, I was in Doctor Who, but I didn't actually get to go in the TARDIS.
Oh, sad. Well,
but
maybe now you can get in there again.
Yeah, hopefully next time. Hopefully I'll be reincarnated as another character.
They can do anything.
But they can do that stuff, can't they?
All right. Well, thank you.
Great. Thank you
I
very
appreciate
much.
it. Thank you. The movie again was amazing.
Great.
Deserves everything it got, and
Thank you.
hopefully gets more.
Yeah. Thank you very much.